afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ed Schlesinger, and I'm the Benjamin T. Rome Dean of the Whiting School of Engineering, and it is truly my great pleasure to welcome you all to the dedication of the Yuwu and Chaomei Chen Department Headship and installation of the inaugural recipient, Fadil Santosa. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate this special occasion. I'd like to offer a special warm welcome to today's honoree, Fadil Santosa, his wife, Jan. You're allowed to applaud. And Yuwu and Chaomei Chen, as well as all of their family and friends who are with us here today. I would also like to recognize and thank Viola Monovich, the guitarist, the wonderful guitarist that you heard upon arrival. Viola is a dual degree student studying guitar performance at Peabody and molecular and cellular biology at the Krieger School. Lots of overlap there. Chaomei and you are longtime supporters of music and the arts, and Viola's performance highlights the multifaceted nature of our students and celebrates Chaomei and you's dedication to the university. In addition, we're very honored for President Daniels to join us today to take part in and help with this important celebration and recognition. A department headship is a special type of endowed professorship that recognizes academic leadership and scholarly contributions of the holder and occupies a pivotal position at the school by ensuring that the department advances and flourishes as an academic unit. This transformative endowment to establish the department headship is an essential cornerstone that supports the growth of the department, the school, and the university as we strive for ever greater accomplishment and seek preeminence. The dedication of an endowed professorship is particularly wonderful. It's a particularly wonderful moment in the life of an institution because it allows us to recognize the generosity of our friends, as well as the distinguished career and great personal devotion of a particular faculty member. Fadil, a few people are going to speak about you and how deserving you are to hold this professorship and this headship today, but let me be the first to officially say congratulations on this well-deserved honor. You have most definitely made an indelible mark on your field and the Academy, and we are proud to have you as a member of the Whiting School family. And to you and Chaomei, thank you. We are so grateful for your generosity and commitment to the Whiting School over many years, and especially in this moment. Today, we honor you for creating the Yuwu and Chaomei Chen Department Headship. Now, because endowment for a professorship, including headships, is held and administered by the university trustees, professorships are formally presented to the university. So President Daniels, would you please join me at the podium? I love these moments of tradition.
And you do a lot of them. So there's a lot of chairs. This is good.
So, as Dean of the Whiting School of Engineering, I formally present to you, as President of the Johns Hopkins University, the Wu Yu and Chaomei Chen Department Headship.
Well, thank you, Dean Ed. It's great to be here with everyone. Really delighted to be here at this occasion. It's wonderful to welcome back to Johns Hopkins fellow alumni, Dr. Yu Wu and Chaomei Chen, and to be joined today by Dr. Fadil Santosa and his wife, Jane Kleinman, and friends and colleagues from across our institution. So let's begin with making this official. As Ed has indicated, there is a certain ritual here. If we screw up the ritual, the chairship doesn't happen, a departmentship, and we'll have really stumbled badly. So I'm going to read the prepared text and to say, on behalf of the Johns Hopkins University, I formally, with great enthusiasm, accept Dr. Fadil Santosa as a Yuwu and Chaomei Chen Department Head of Applied Mathematics and Statistics. Now we can all applaud because that's the official start. This is being captured. We've got this, so this is good. So now that it's official. As many of you will know, Chaomei and you are not only gifted analysts and experts in fields ranging from finance to early American history, but they're also great admirers of arts and devoted patrons of ballet. These disparate fields are not as far from one another as you may think, or at least in how they interpret their interest. In fact, one of the most significant moments in modern dance came when ballet met mathematics. We had to work hard to find this. In the late 1940s, an accountant named Rudolf Beneš and his wife Joan, a dancer for the Royal Ballet of London, created Beneš movement notation to render the grace and fluidity of ballet into formulaic language. Dr. Santosa will model this for us in the first part of his remarks tonight. Up to this point, recording and recreating dance with precision was incredibly difficult. Recognizing this problem and seeing his wife confront it firsthand, Rudolf was compelled to design a symbolic shorthand, which he called an alphabet of movement, to denote a dancer's steps and timing throughout a performance, from their location on stage to the positioning of their heads, hands, and feet. It was at the time truly revolutionary. Beneš notation became a bridge between the art of dance and the practice of analytic reasoning and symbolic representation, linking the mind of the choreographer to the body of the performer and enabling generations to reproduce dance masterpieces in their original form. The system was a way to isolate and preserve the clear signal of choreography from the noise of any individual performance. Now, I recount Rudolf and Joan's partnership today, not just because their tool became an international sensation in ballet circles. The pair's great ability to connect disciplines, ideas, and people in pursuit of creative, practical solutions to complex and abstract problems has an analog, of course, in Chaomei Chen and Dr. Yu Wu. We see this ethos in their shared experience as powerhouses of global finance. In her various roles at Lending Club PNC, National Bank, Providian Financial Corporation, among other institutions, Chaomei has bridged credit and business risk management, fraud prevention, and business operations with the complexities of corporate governance, shaping the trajectory of international finance and the health of corporations. It is a masterful performance that she has done time and time again. And we see it also in Yu's career in strategic planning and competitive analysis for companies from household credit services to Providian Financial, and also as a teacher and scholar, where he's traversed borders and historic eras to educate and illuminate early American and modern Chinese history to scores of students and scholars in the United States and China. Time and time again, Yu and Chaomei have leveraged the great strengths of communities, organizations, and institutions of which they are so deeply a part through the graceful networking of people and fields of expertise. And to our great fortune, Johns Hopkins is, of course, among those institutions that have benefited from your collective leadership. Indeed, I've had the pleasure of seeing Chaomei apply these skills to the operation of our university through her invaluable role as a member of Hopkins Board of Trustees and the Whiting Advisory Board. She has been a vital bridge, truly a vital bridge in many ways, throwing herself into understanding our institution and making connections that, quite frankly, are not apparent, not obvious to others, and to doing so on so many different occasions. This headship is a sterling example of that promise and that insight. How fitting then that the inaugural Yu Wu and Chaomei Chen Department Head of Applied Mathematics and Statistics should be conferred on someone who, as it turns out, has exactly that same extraordinary set of abilities and capabilities. Dr. Fadil Santosa, a renowned expert in fields spanning wave phenomena, financial mathematics, optimal design, and inverse problems, Fadil has mastered the art of finding and deciphering signals in the noise, making connections across systems, and refining solutions that truly sustain and improve our world. As a researcher, Fadil has strived to close the gaps between mathematical research across the academy and industry, From his work to develop a symbol-based algorithm for decoding barcodes to a study of electromagnetic wave phenomena and metallic 2D materials. And he will continue to play that role within the Whiting School by connecting students to diverse career paths, creating opportunities for interdisciplinary research and meaningful interaction between our undergraduates, postdocs, faculty, and alumni, by strengthening a department that supplies so much of the foundational underpinning of knowledge across engineering fields. And it is recognized, not just within the Whiting School, not just on this campus, but indeed across the university entire and well beyond. So for all these reasons, Fadil, I can think of no one better suited to advance Whiting's preeminence in the years to come. And I should say, just before coming over here, I told our provost, Sunil Kumar, that I was going to do this professorship. And he said, and you know, said, he's a really nice guy to boot. So he's got it all. So thank you, Fadil. Congratulations to you and Chaomei. Your ability to envision the brightest possible future ahead for Hopkins can be felt far and wide in the foundational connections you have forged so deftly across our institution. To all of you, thank you, congratulations. And Dean Ed, back to you. Okay, back to you, Ed.
Thank you, President Daniels. It is now my pleasure to sort of speak, formally introduce Chaomei Chen and Yu Wu. Chaomei graduated from JHU in 1988 with a master's degree in mathematical science. After leaving Johns Hopkins, she went on to have a successful career as the chief risk officer, overseeing multi-billion-dollar business and credit risk portfolios for institutions including WAMU, JP Morgan Chase, and Lending Club. Chaomei joined Urendai's advisory committee in January 2016 and has been providing a strategic advice and insight to their senior management team. Chaomei is, as you heard, an active member of the Whiting School Advisory Board and the Johns Hopkins University Board of Trustees. Yu received his PhD from Johns Hopkins in history in 1996, where he focused on the history of colonial America. Yu is currently a guest professor at Jianghan University in the People's Republic of China. Prior to this, he worked in the US financial industry, specializing in strategic planning and competitive analysis until his retirement in 2006. As I said, we are truly grateful to both of you, Chaomei and Yu, for all you have done, your friendship, your advice, your support, and thank you today for creating the Yu Wu and Chaomei Chen department headship. I'm so glad that we could all be here to celebrate with you. With that, Chaomei, I'd like to invite you to the podium.
Thank you, Ed. Yeah, thank you, President Daniel, and also thank you very much for Fadil. So my name is Chaomei, and my husband also sitting here. Just make quite a few kind of a remark. And coming out from engineering school, from applied mathematics, and the reason we could get here is the financial support we got from Johns Hopkins University. For me, with the financial aid, my husband from Fulbright Scholarship, and also Hopkins Financial Aid, we came to this country. So Ed and I were talking about early on today, what engineering school mean, what that big E really meaning. So to us, and I would say the big E for us is really the enlightening in our life. And enlightenment get us the opportunity to this environment, and with open mind and also free thought, and also the encouragement we got throughout this education period. And all of this actually get us a big E, meaning enable us to explore and apply what we learned from school. So this is, for us, opportunity to get back to our school for what we earned and what we learned, and throughout our contribution to enhance our program, our education, and also enrich the program. And what we like to see, that drop of lipid water we had from Hopkins. We want to see that become a long-lasting lipid stream. And for years to come, and enlightening more and more generation to come and contribute to this society and also to the world we live on. So thank you very much for all of you.
Good afternoon. I'm Ed Scheinerman, a longtime faculty member in the Department of Applied Mathematics and Statistics and Vice Dean for Faculty in the School of Engineering. It's an honor for me to introduce my colleague and department head, Fadil Santosa. I want to express my gratitude to Fadil for taking on his leadership role, a sentiment no doubt shared by other former department chairs, some here, John Wehrman, Laurent Yunus, and Dan Naiman, who's teaching right now. Thank you. I'm also delighted to see Yu Wu and Chaomei Chen here for this wonderful occasion on Fadil's installation in a chaired headship that bears their names. Fadil's area of mathematics is the study of inverse problems, a subject that has applications to diverse areas such as non-destructive testing, optics, photonics, optimal design, and financial mathematics. He has had an illustrious career, coming to us most recently from the University of Minnesota, where he served in various administrative roles in the Institute for Mathematics and its Applications, including as their director. Fadil told me that his remarks will be about his mathematical journey, but I thought I'd bookend that with a few comments about his entry into mathematics and then his move to Hopkins. How did he get from there to here? Well, by car, of course. You see, Fadil started out studying mechanical engineering because of his love for cars. What he liked best about mechanical engineering was the extensive use of mathematics, so he shifted gears and became a mathematician. Speeding ahead to very recently, he and Jen packed up their valuables to move to Baltimore, and then he shipped his beloved Porsche ahead to my driveway for safekeeping until they arrived. Fadil, congratulations on being named the inaugural Yu Wu and Chaomei Chen Head of Applied Mathematics and Statistics. We look forward to you chauffeuring us into an outstanding future.
Do I need to use the mic or is it on? So thank you for the introduction, Ed. That was very lovely. Ed did not even get a ride in my car. I'm very honored and humbled by this recognition. And I just want to say that the odds of me taking on this, an endowed chair at one of the most prestigious universities in the world is very small. In mathematical terms, we would say that the odds are order of epsilon to the n. But I want to give you a sense of why I feel this way, and you have to look at where I come from, and and some of the elite bias that I faced as I made my journey to Johns Hopkins. My father left China for Indonesia in the late 1920s. For passage, he indentured himself. He worked his way out of poverty. My parents had 6 children. My father never finished high school. All his children went to college. 2 ended up with advanced degrees. I grew up in a very dark time in Indonesia. We survived racial riots. My parents' business was destroyed by looters, at least twice that I can remember. We escaped injury by hiding. We survived the communist purge of the late 1960s. In those days, being of Chinese descent makes you a communist suspect. And somehow we managed to stay out of trouble even during that time. People of Chinese descent were discriminated against and subject of hatred in Indonesia. The university had a quota system that kept me out of the better institutions. So the decision to study abroad was very easy, and also in part to escape the terrible circumstances. In fact, as a parting insult, there was a racial riot in my hometown the week I left Indonesia for college. As Ed mentioned, I did my undergraduate degree in mechanical engineering at the University of New Mexico. After New Mexico, the best engineering school I could get into was University of Illinois. In those days, students from New Mexico just don't go to places like Stanford and MIT. In Illinois, I should say that I was very fortunate to have found a great advisor, Robert Carroll, and an established mathematician. And we worked on inverse problems, that problem that Ed mentioned, before they were sexy. So I was offered several very good postdoc positions because the thesis topic was hot. And I chose Cornell over Princeton and Northwestern at that time. At Cornell, I had great mentors, the late Professor Yixing Pao and Lawrence Payne. And then with Bill Symes at Rice University, we worked on a very big ONR grant. I'm very grateful to Bill, who patiently filled many of my mathematical gaps in my education while we collaborated. I credit him for giving me credibility as an applied mathematician. So my first regular job was at the University of Delaware, the Department of Mathematical Sciences. From there, I went to Minnesota. The reason why I was recruited to Minnesota was because I had, as Ed and Ron mentioned, collaborations with industry. It was rare in those days, and it's still kind of rare today. So I was recruited by Avner Friedman to help run the School of Mathematics' new center called Center for Industrial Mathematics. Under his mentorship, I created a program that placed math students in internships in industry. So without this experience, I would not have been selected to direct the Institute of Mathematics and its applications. So thank you very much, Avner, if he's listening. I think he said he was going to listen. So my story is one of struggling against elite bias, but somehow at every turn, I was fortunate that I found a champion who helped me overcome. Naturally, when I applied for the headship at Johns Hopkins, I was concerned. I was totally wrong. Hopkins is the first university who didn't question my pedigree. Thank you. So thank you for the opportunity to serve this great university. Thank you, Dean Schlesinger, for putting your trust in me. The honor bestowed upon me by Yu Wu and Chaomei energizes me to work harder and to deliver on my promise. My vision is for the AMS to become one of the top 10 applied math departments in graduate programs, renowned for being the best place to study data science, especially when it's applied to addressing society's biggest challenges in areas such as healthcare and climate change. I want to take this opportunity to thank my colleagues at Hopkins for their welcome and their support. In the short 2 years here, you have collaborated with me on projects and initiatives and made Hopkins feel like home. Let me also thank my family, especially my wife and 2 sons. When they were small, they were willing to take vacations in places where math conferences happened to be. and their willingness to leave their friends behind to accompany me on extended visits at various institutions around the world was priceless. And in fact, today is a doubly great day. It's my son's birthday. So happy birthday, Ansel, if you're watching. So many thanks for everyone for being here. To colleagues at AMS, let's get back to work after the reception. After the reception. To make AMS even a better place. And to colleagues outside of AMS, let's continue to explore productive partnerships with AMS. So thank you.
Thank you, Fadil. Thank you for those very, very inspiring words. And clearly, you are so deserving of this recognition and this award. And as a token of a memento or souvenir of this day, I'm happy to present you.
Wow. I won't drop it.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And again, Chaomei, you join me. Thank you so much for your support, your advice, and all that you do for the school and university. And again, as a token, I'm not going to lift this because I'm afraid to collapse, but, well, but okay, thank you. Thank you also, President Daniels, for joining us today and for officiating in the ritual that made sure that we got it right, that we got it properly, the deal properly installed. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you to the family and friends and colleagues who are here today. Please join us in further celebration of the reception in the hallway and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.